I remember one of the lectures that you gave, you talked about why people get sick on vacation.
Ah, yes. So one of the hormones that we make is called cortisol. And some people have heard of cortisol because they get corticosteroid injections to help with their pain. Well, it turns out that cortisol can be immunosuppressive, or it can suppress the T regulatory cells, in which case it can allow other parts of your immune system to go haywire. But the big thing with cortisol that we talked about in class is that cortisol is the hormone that causes any cells that are autoreactive to off themselves in the morning. So remember, those T cells are developing in your flat bones, and then they go through your thymus. And then if they've determined that they're autoreactive, when your cortisol peaks in the morning to wake you up, it's what, like, boom, makes your eyes open. At the same time, you're killing any autoreactive cells. And then your cortisol goes down the rest of the day, and it happens the same the next day. So what happens to people who don't have a cortisol peak? Maybe they don't have a cortisol peak because genetically there's something wrong. Maybe there's a disease process that's reduced their cortisol peak. But if they don't have a cortisol peak, then more autoreactive cells make it into the periphery. Here's the other time when cortisol is really active. It's really active when you're stressed. So if you're working towards a big deadline and you're like, got to get through, like I am right now. We've got 4 grants going out in the next week, and it's finals, and I have to grade 200 papers. And I'm like, oh my God, I have just got to get through June 24th, graduation, get those grants out the door, and then I can relax. And I guarantee you, my cortisol is high. And as soon as my cortisol drops, now my immune system can go into activity again. When cortisol is high, it's suppressing my immune system.